What's up, DBs? Coach D Magic here, former D1 defensive back. Back after a long vacation, bringing you guys some one-on-one reps from Steelers practice. We got Darius Slay going against DK Metcalf. We got Jaylen Ramsey pressing in the slot. And it looks like we're going to get a lot of Jaylen Ramsey, safety, and nickel this year. Considering you have Joey Porter Jr., considering you have Darius Slay, it looks like we're going to get Jaylen Ramsey wearing multiple hats, being that Swiss Army knife, and playing in the slot, playing safety. Make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com to get our DB Mastery program. All the drills, the techniques we're going to talk about in this are going to be in the DB Mastery program. So starting with this Jaylen Ramsey clip, right? So he's in the slot. In the slot, we want to be outside leverage. You want to deny out breaking routes. The reason for that, right? And if you've watched this, if you've been following this channel for a while, slot receivers, you're mostly going to get out breaking routes, 5 and out, wheel route, 10 and out, whip route, corner route, slot fade. Okay. So right now we're outside leverage. Okay. You see how the receiver takes this inside release to try to run away from us, right? So if he continues to work towards the middle of the field, if he actually gets in between the hashes, then we can start to believe he's crossing the field. But from here, when we open, just play to the upfield shoulder, okay? Even if he runs this slant right here, play the upfield shoulder, we can tackle, try to knock the ball out. Keep our eyes on him, all right? No need to look early. We are not going to gamble on a 2-yard, 3-yard slant. All right, there's so many other route possibilities. If he runs a slant from here, when there's literally going to be linebackers right here, all right, good for him. All right, but our eye discipline, and again, like I said, you see how he doesn't actually cross the field. He works back up on the hash. Our eye discipline, our good angle, playing the upfield shoulder allows us to be in position. Let's say this is an out route. We can body that. Actually ends up being a corner, all right? Jaylen Ramsey being the more imposing or the bigger person here, which this is why I'm like so excited for him to play in the slot, because I'm like, yeah, those guys are quicker, but he's going to have a lot more help and a lot more bodies to help him. And then if I can just get my body on you and lean on you, now look what he does. He pretty much boxes the receiver out, keeps him on the hash, and now I become the receiver. All right, and now he becomes a receiver, and now look, the receiver has to start playing defense. Jaylen Ramsey's going up, and now look at the receiver. The receiver is actually playing legit playing defense here. PI, look. He's holding. He's literally holding. That is wild. That's wild. Good rep by Jaylen Ramsey here. All right. So, man, I'm excited. Even though the Steelers, people think, Jaylen Ramsey and Slay are washed, man, they're showing that they can play against these young guys, right? So now we have Darius Slay. I'm going to play the rep. Darius Slay versus DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf has been making a ton of plays. I'm actually very impressed by DK Metcalf. I didn't think he wasn't one of my top guys coming into this year, but he's been making plays. But we get the better of him here. All right, so guys, pop quiz. If we get a speed release, if we're pressing and we get a speed release, what do? If you've been watching this channel, you know that we kick slide. Good kick slide. Now the receiver slips, but that's not our fault. Kick slide. We stay on top. Outside releases. Stay on top. The receivers want everything to look like a fade. Okay. A 9 route, a go route. Being on top allows us to play that goal or to play that fade, to play that deep route. Now, a couple things. As the receiver starts to squeeze himself to the sideline, as we have his eyes down on the as we have our eyes down on the hips, we got to be aware of 2 routes: the stop route and comeback. Usually, that stop route is going to come at 10 yards. Usually, that comeback is going to come at 15. But the key here is that when you kick and we're on top, keep your eyes down, keep your eyes down, keep your eyes down. Once we clear the fade, once we clear the go route, right? So once we get past 15 yards, 15 plus, then we can start to look to cut off for the fade. But simply keeping our eyes down here. See the deceleration. He tries to throw by move. Good job here. Staying disciplined. Not grabbing. All right. Good break. We get our hand on the football. So this is Darius Slay going against a $30 million receiver. And people say that he's on his last leg. This might be his last season of football. I'm telling you guys, no matter what age you are, no matter what speed you are, if you have the correct IQ and if you have the correct technique, you can guard someone who's bigger than you, stronger than you. And I would say if they raced, he's faster than Darius Slay. Good rep here by Slay. On this next rep, okay, we get Darius Slay again. He's a great example. I think this might be Roman Wilson. But for those of you guys that don't know, Roman Wilson ran a 4.3. If it's not Roman Wilson, correct me in the comments. But I know for a fact this guy's younger. I know for a fact this guy's faster. Okay? So, same thing, Darius Slay. We've done this technique. I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds. Pop quiz. What is this technique? All right, watch his feet. Watch Darius Slay's feet. What do we call this? If you have the DB Mastery program, you already know what it is because this technique is in there. All right? I call it the double pierce step. Okay? Double read step. Double patience step. 6-inch steps. Watch his outside foot. All right? Left foot. Small step. Small step. Small step. All right? You can barely see it moving. I'm going to let it play. All right? You see how we're able to get our feet moving, get our feet activated without gaining ground, okay? Without getting outside of our base. That's why, outside of our frame, that's why we keep them small, right? It allows us to step, again, activated feet. Allows us to stay within our frame. What do? Kick slide, all right? Stay on top. We're on top. And this is the oldest trick in the book. Watch what the receiver does. And this is why you guys should just watch football. Just watch as many one-on-ones as possible. You start to notice some tendencies by all receivers, all right? When receivers want to run the comeback at 15 yards or stop route, whatever, look what he does. Gets his eyes up early, all right? He's trying to sell fade. He's trying to sell go route. But we know we're only 8 yards down the field. Even if it is a fade, a go route, right? We still have plenty of time to close space, make sure it is that, and then make a play on the ball. But a lot of times they want to get their head ups, so that get their eyes back so that we can look early. We're keeping our eyes down, or he's looking him in the chest, wherever he's looking at, right? But Darius Slay's seen it all. Keeps his eyes down. Receiver then tries to work into the break, all right? And now, look, we're able to undercut that with ease. And like I said, if you watch enough football, receivers do this all the time. Outside release, eyes back early, sink to comeback. Good job bodying that, all right? So I hope you guys learned something, man. The Steelers, I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers only because I like a good quarterback play. Whether you think he's a good quarterback now or not, I think it's interesting. So I'm definitely going to be watching the Steelers a lot more. I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers. Now you got DK. Let's see what happens with that. You got Slay. You got Ramsey now. And then you got Joey Porter Jr., who I like as well. So I'm going to be watching these guys a lot. So make sure you go to thedbnetwork.com and make sure, guys, if you're looking for gloves, if you're looking for nice gear that's not Nike, Adidas, the big three, Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, man, make sure you go check out Vicks, our sponsors. I'll put the link in the description, guys. I really stand by their product. I love their gloves. I love their socks, their grip socks to prevent blisters. I love their compression pants.